I'm Tad Flakey, and this is Pointless Global News. On today's show, fossilized vomit is declared a national treasure in Denmark. Next, stick reviews on TikTok are now a thing. That's right, sticks made of wood, on the ground. Finally, the results are in for those with a bashful bladder. Now the details. Something smells rotten in the state of Denmark, or rather it did 66 million years ago. Danish scientists say, announcing the recent discovery of very old shark vomit on the country's cliffs of Stevens, a coastal scenic spot 1 hour from Copenhagen. The prehistoric patch of puke sat there for a long enough time to turn into a fossil, languishing in obscurity until an amateur sleuth made the gross and engrossing discovery last November. The strange story begins during the Cretaceous period, when a shark, or a shark-like sea creature, apparently did not enjoy a meal of sea lilies. Sea lilies aren't that great to eat because they are almost all skeleton, Dr. Jesper Milan, curator of Denmark's Geomuseum, said, and that museum will be showcasing the previously unknown upchuck. So they took what they could and threw up the rest, he said. The putrid portal to the past was uncovered by a local hunter, Peter Benecke, who had been prowling the White Chalk Cliffs, a UNESCO-listed geological site, for interesting finds. Dr. Milan speculated that the suddenly scrutinized spew could have come from a bottom-dwelling shark. John Jacht, a Dutch sea lily expert, in a written statement obtained by USA Today, concluded that the historic hurl was made up of two different species of sea lilies mixed into a clump. The retro Ralphings were primarily composed of the indigestible skeletal parts of their bodies. Experts say that the funky find could shed new light on what life was like during the Cretaceous period. At the latter end of that time period, Europe was said to be a series of islands due to higher sea levels. The scientific term for fossilized vomit is regurgitolite. Didn't know that. Now you do too. Surprisingly, the timeless hurl is far from the oldest out there. Dr. Milan said that Germany, for example, has laid claim to an even more historic spot of barf dating back 150 million years. The spew sample has already been classified by Denmark as an object of exceptional natural historical value. That means the vomit belongs to Denmark, and it's not for sale. You hear that, Trump? Just like Greenland, the fossilized vomit belongs to Denmark. Keep your tiny hands off of it, if you know it's good for you. In other pointless news, this story is actually a lot more pointless than most. I'm sure you'll agree. Stick Nation is a bizarre movement that's exploded on social media, with millions of people expressing their admiration for pieces of wood. The accounts were started by pals Boone Hogg and Logan Juggler after they found a worn-down stick on the side of a Utah trail back in 2023. The duo thought it would be amusing to create an account dedicated to reviewing sticks, saying the one they had found had some excellent grain on it and a nice grip. In the time since, Stick Nation has become a sensation. And if you're like me, you're asking yourself, why didn't I think of this? Last April, Hogg and Juggler were profiled in the New York Times, and that rapidly expanded their reach. And this month alone, celebs such as Lin-Manuel Miranda and Dermot Mulroney have both submitted their own sticks for review on the accounts. Now the stickhead community has its own language. Modded sticks have been carved or modified in some way by human hands, while natty sticks are all natural. Stickheads love to have fun with puns, too. One review shows a man and his daughter on the banks of Loch Ness in Scotland, where they found a stick they dubbed Loch Ness Monster. While A-listers have joined the craze, most of the reviews are posted by just regular people with very irregular sticks. They are ones that resemble snakes, wizard staffs, wands, canes, and even hands. One person submitted their moss-covered stick that they found in Latvia, saying it's useful to fight your enemies because it's quite light and sturdy. Meanwhile, a woman showed off what she calls her snake stick, a curved piece of wood resembling a reptile. It works for the sneaking snakes and for the gremlins, she said. Hog and Juggler recently hosted a Stick of the Year competition where an ancient energy sword won the top prize. Hogg told NPR that one of his favorite sticks that he's seen was one that was passed down from a grandfather to his grandson, embedded with patches, medals, and other things from the grandfather's previous trails and hikes. I love the ones that have a story, but also some sort of sentimental value to them. Now, believe it or not, even though you would think that this particular site, be it this podcast or the Stick of the Year, is perhaps the most wasteful use of bandwidth on the internet, no. That honor goes to the Rate My Poo subreddit on Reddit. Check it out if you dare. It's exactly what you think it is. One picture post after another of followers' fecal masterpieces of the day before they flush it. Not sure if they have a Turd of the Year award, but I think they probably should. Finally, do you have a bashful bladder? Well, according to a new study, half of all Americans do, and a large majority put off going to the bathroom because of it. The poll of 2,000 U.S. adults found that 92% have had to hold off going to the bathroom so they don't miss out on something exciting or important, and 51% have what's called P-anxiety. That's anxiety that strikes when people feel stuck in a situation that keeps them away from the bathroom for a long period of time. A quarter, that being 24%, said that they frequently hold off from going to the bathroom so they don't miss out on what they see as something exciting or important. 35% said that they have missed important life moments because they needed to rush off to the bathroom. Some respondents recalled missing their child's first steps, an epic concert finale, and once-in-a-lifetime photo ops. And a third have missed out on major sports events and moments like winning a game or a World Series Grand Slam or an NBA Final three-pointer. Even their own kids' Pee-wee game wins have been missed because, people were in the bathroom at the wrong time. It's even happened to me. I was in the bathroom when that famous wardrobe malfunction of Janet Jackson happened. At least they had replays. Research also found that 86% of Americans have had close calls, nearly losing control of their bladders, because they needed to go to the bathroom. In the past year alone, the average person has had 5 close calls. So, if you're holding off during this podcast, your go time has arrived, because that's a wrap for another Pointless Global News. Be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Tad Flaky. Stay pointless, my friend.